First Peter chapter 5 verse 8 tells us to be sober and vigilant because our adversary prowls around like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. This is video number 13 in this playlist in the series of videos on predatory people. And this one I want to talk about guardians. It's a couple of decent stories where people tried to help. And one was my brother, and I don't remember it. My sister, who's older than me, remembers. She's the one that told me the story. One of my older brothers. And my mom was working one night. She always worked nights at the clubs. And so John would come get us girls and drag us back into his room, or if she was home, she was sleeping downstairs in a little single bedroom off of the living room. This is when we were in Wisconsin. But anyway, so she was gone, and this brother came and got both of us girls and ushered us into that bedroom downstairs. And she said that this brother, and he would have probably been maybe 12, I'm guessing at the age. And she said he sat down in the door frame. He told us to go get in the bed. There was a twin-size bed in there, and he told us to get in there and that we were going to get some sleep that night. And she said he sat down on the floor and he put his back up against one side of the door frame and his feet up against the other side of the door frame. And that was where he kept guard over us all night. And she said that the old man did come to get us out of there, to find us, and that he and the brother did exchange words. And God bless my brother for that. You know, I don't even remember it, but she certainly does. And I don't know if he even remembers it, but John was a very intimidating person and a bully. And I'm just so proud of my brother for the courage that he displayed to do that, and the compassion. God bless him for it. He is truly a wonderful person who may seem harsh to some people. He sees things clearly and directly. Another thing just about guardians is in the way that these predators work is, so there was a period of time that John would have both of us sisters with him at the same time. But then he started to divide, and he would say to her, "I'll go get your sister if you don't do this." And he would say to me, "I'll go get your sister, or your little brother if you don't do that." And so each of us were sacrificing ourselves because we thought that we were guarding the other one, we were sparing the other one. And then, later we would come to find out that no, it didn't. He was saying the same thing to each of us, and he was just getting a hold of each one. And just, a liar. These people are liars. They're deceivers. They're disgusting. But anyway, just to think, and there was even a time when my mind was so twisted that I thought that, and this was even when I was like older in years, and I would think, well, if I don't allow him to do this, he's going to go hurt some other kid. And as if there's no, uh, way around that it has to happen. But that's how confused, again, this goes under the confusion. But anyway, that was me trying to protect other children even later, many years later. And there's a lot of things I would do different if I could go back. But I also understand that I was groomed and programmed, and my mind was confused because of being lied to and manipulated through all those years. And then there was a time right before we moved away from Wisconsin, we had some friends. My sister's best friend was at a church, and we did go to a church. We were Jehovah's Witnesses at that time. And there was a friend, my sister confided to her about what was happening to us. And she believes that that girl told her father, because she said that it wasn't long after that she remembers looking out the upstairs window. We lived in an old farmhouse, and she heard them pull up, and she looked out the window, and she could see Mr. Neisinger and another man from the church, from the Kingdom Hall, and they were pointing. They were in a very heated conversation. She couldn't hear what they were saying, but they were in a heated conversation with John, and she didn't know what it was about. But it was right after that we left that state and moved to Florida, like that. We went with what could be packed in the car, and I actually think that moment of leaving and having to leave everything you could take, how much can you fit in a car with, I don't think the oldest brother was there by that time, I think. So for sure it was 4 children, 2 parents in a car, a Buick, I think. And maybe 5 children, but I think there was 4 of us. That was back when somebody could lay up in the back dash, So we moved down to Florida to live with a different aunt, all of us, the whole family. And my mom had 3 sisters. But my sister thinks that we moved because he had been found out, and so we had to disappear like that. But moving so quickly, I think that was something that led to, in later years, several of us children became hoarders for a while. And not talking about filth and junk, but things, like clinging to things so hard. And I think it was because of having to, those quick moves that would happen, and you would get no warning. And so those are just other ways that you can get affected, but you got to get a handle on it. You can't just live in that chaos in your mind. You got to sort that out. But anyway, just something, another form of confusion that has to be sorted out. So this video is getting kind of long, so I will close it with that. And I hope some of the things in here help you sort some things out in your own minds, or recognize if things are happening around you, and